Hello and welcome back to another episode of Murderous Podcast. I am your host, Sidney Smith, and this guy over here, no one could care less about at all.
Jamie Kamaya.
No one cares, man. You left us. You've been long gone. We've forgotten about you, but I'm glad that you just happened to be hanging outside the studio to come in and do the show.
There happened to be a bus stop right there.
Yeah, you were just sitting out there with a big gulp with nothing in it. Jamie, bring your ass in here, man. Let's do the podcast.
People they didn't believe me because my cardboard sign was, the begging was spelled correctly.
All right, let me give you the intro that you deserve. For people who are watching us on YouTube, and you've never seen this man's face before, this was my original co-host who started this thing with me the first 16 to 18 months, one of my closest friends in the whole world, Jamie Kamaya. If you've been listening to any of the podcasts at all for this entire time, or maybe you're just catching it, you would hear his dulcet Boston tones in some of the earlier ones. So he's decided to come and sit down and be a guest host. How does that feel?
Glad to be back, Sidney Smith.
How does that feel to be introed as a guest host? Not even co-host anymore. Guest host, man.
Well, it's kind of worn off since I walked in and I saw my name not on the moniker
Well,
anymore.
hey, so. that was the first thing I did. you seen them buildings where they just scrape or when they fire the guy, the VP up in the corner office, they send the janitor up right away, scrape his name
out
the door.
I can't even laugh. I remember we had an address book with my aunts. I had these two old aunts that lived together, and one of them died. So I told my wife at the time, I said, hey, go get her name out of that address book so we don't actually put it on a Christmas card by accident. So next time I open it up, there's just a big X over her name.
That's it.
That's how it's done.
So that's exactly what's it.
All right, big X.
Except for I'm a little more OCD than that, so I just couldn't put a big X. So I just had to remove your name and slide mine over.
Oh, that would have looked good, though, big X.
Nah. I don't want people to even know you're here. So that's why you're a co-host today, buddy.
Happy to be here.
Hey, thank you guys out there for watching. Thank you guys for listening. I do appreciate you. And Jamie, from way back here, appreciate you from listening to this episode as well.
It's fancy in here.
Hey, take it easy. If you've never listened to the podcast before, please remember, share the link with a friend. That does not hurt you. It's absolutely free. Share the link. Send it over. You guys know where we are. You listen to us right now. Apple, iHeart, Spotify, blah, 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 blah. And if you're catching this on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Sidney Smith Creative, and go ahead and give us a nice thumbs up on that as well. I appreciate it.
The video brings in the kids, the young crowd.
You never sounded
visually stimulated.
You've never sounded older than when you say shit like the video brings in.
I've aged some since you saw me.
What is it? Was it a month ago since I saw you?
Oh, I'd say at least a month.
Yeah. You talk like it's been years. I've aged.
When did I see you?
Look, man, I can't do this with you, Grandpa Jamie. I can't do this with you. All right, let's get into the show, man. You guys know how this thing goes. We're going to banter a little bit up front, talk about some shit, and then we're going to get into the crime here. I got a pretty good one, I think, here. I did a little bit of investigating on this one. I'm going to be cutting it down as we record because there is a lot of information in here. And while I am a nerd for information, not everybody is. So I'm going to try to sift through it as we go. But there's a lot of information here. And I was very intrigued by it. I want to hear what Jamie thinks about it. But more importantly, I want to hear from you guys as well. And it's super easy for you to do that. Just go to murderouspodcast.com and drop me a message there. Or you can go to my website, where you'll see all my other dates and everything else, stand-up, movies, so on and so forth, SidneySmithCreative.com as well. And you don't want to misspell creative the way that I've spelled it, CRE8TIV. So SidneySmithCreative.com. Jamie, I was going to fuck with you about the I-10 because I tried to tell you, he says, where's the studio? You just got to take the I-10 down and then you're going to swing a left and you're going to go east. Well, the I-10 only goes east and west. Well, no, at a certain point, it has to go south. And he argues with me. And if you're in the valley, you know damn well, at a certain point, the 10 goes south.
The 10's like 1,500 miles long, east to west. There's a little nick
it goes
around the airport.
No, it's not a little nick.
Just a little around the airport.
No, it's not a little around the airport. For people who do not know, when you go from Phoenix to Tucson, you're going from north to south. You get there on the 10.
Yeah, but it's still the 10 east.
It still
west.
is, but when you get off, you're still heading east when you get off at that exit there.
You're renaming roads over here.
Yeah, I'm renaming roads
I-10
over here.
South.
All right, you're
Sponsored
from Boston.
by Sidney Smith. The next 2 miles.
Don't be giving my money away. So you're from Boston,
Yes.
Bill Russell. Give me in a sentence or two what that meant to you, if anything at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, the most winningest professional athlete ever, right? In terms of the major sports, anyways. 11 rings and 2 more as a coach.
And I know that he was well beyond after. You came well after his time, but still, he's
he came up. I mean, he came up through the Celtics organization at a time where it was being a black man in Boston was, we'll say, a bit challenging. But
hold on now. Did you say a bit challenging?
A bit.
I'm not letting you get off. I know you have
come
friends.
Some way.
I know you have friends and family that listen to this, and you guys, like to sweep it. But I know you got to go back home. You go to Boston at least once a year. You take the kid back in that wispy mustache of his.
He's so proud of the thing.
I know he is. I love that kid though. I remember when last time you had him at the house, he had his shoes on, had his feet on my couch, and I come around the corner and he puts his feet down.
He knows better.
As if I know he does. That's why he put his feet down, and I'm looking at him like, what do you think, I'm blind? I can't see big ass feet on the couch. I saw him. But you take that kid back because he should go back and see his grandma and his aunts and whatnot.
Yeah, he loves that place. We go to the ocean and stuff like that, and he gets spoiled rotten when he's there.
Don't try to change the subject. Don't try to move away from your kid and what he loves about Boston. That's not what I was asking you. I was asking you about Bill Russell. Everyone knows about Boston's past and their present. Yeah, whatever. We all know about their past, and even their present. And I don't broad stroke every person I've ever met from Boston with that same brush as the assholes who are back there. But it is a weird thing to have a man such as Bill Russell who fought for the struggle the way he did coming up and also be living in that type of environment in that city.
Well, he said that it wasn't the fans as much as it was like the institution that he felt like the real racism came from. I mean, there's one thing people love more than anything, that's winning, right? And he did a whole lot of that, man. They accepted him.
I do say that is one thing that I don't know if it cures racism, but it pushes it aside. That is money and winning.
Right.
And so
yeah, all colorblind.
Yeah, man. If someone thinks they can make money off my black ass, they may hate black people. But come on in, Sidney. Let's figure this out.
Stupid.
Come on. You can't come by for dinner, but you can come and sit down at this table.
We'll talk on the porch.
Absolutely. You said that too easy.
Hey, I'm from Boston, right?
For people who can't see, because you're not watching the YouTube, Jamie's Caucasian.
Yeah, I'm as Caucasian as they come, man.
You are.
I'm reflecting light back at these lights.
We talked about this before, but you're the only person who's ever had me over for a pool party who couldn't be out.
You guys having fun?
You had to run from the sun.
Guys, at 12:30 it comes over the house. I got to disappear.
I'm like, why does this guy throw a pool party? He's got to stay in the shade the whole time, or stay in a t-shirt.
Dude, it's a different sun out here, man.
Question.
Yeah.
Can you be in the sun back east?
Well, more than I can be in the sun here.
But the sun is fierce.
Yeah, this is.
Fierce.
Back east, warm, like really warm, is like 85.
Yeah,
you hit 90 3 days in a row. That's a heat wave back there.
Yeah.
By definition, and that's like November here.
But that humidity's got to be fucking killer though back in Boston though.
It is. It's kind of, now that I've been here for 11 years, I can see the difference. They both have its advantages. Like, yes, it's humid and it's tough to walk in, but you can walk in it.
Yeah.
You can walk around the middle of the day in Boston. You can't really do that here. Not as a ginger. Not really. No one really can walk around in this stuff for too long.
I remember one time I said ginger and you acted
Whoa,
away.
with the hard R, yeah.
It's
all coming back.
He said, that's our word.
That's what you brought me back for.
So I could just say ginger.
I knew this Boston lesson was going somewhere.
Well, there was no Boston. We were talking, just having a conversation. I wanted to know what your thoughts were on Bill Russell.
Yeah. 88 or 89.
Could you stop rocking?
I can't, man. I'm just
stop rocking. You're messing up the
am I?
We're gonna mess up the. You look weird on the video.
Which camera do I not look at?
And then the fucking volume. Like, what are you doing?
I'm excited to be here.
All right, well, take it easy, buddy. Just relax. Take it easy. Maybe this won't be the last time I invite you.
Oh,
maybe the bus will come back by here again. You better just jump
that
off.
schedule.
Just schedule. All right, so. We talked a little bit about Bill Russell, but that wasn't supposed to be a Boston busting. That's not what I was saying. I actually did want to give you a chance to talk a little bit about Bill Russell and what it was like and what the city's even like now in terms of what they're in memorializing him. I mean, is there any discussion about the entirety of his time there, or are they kind of keeping it pretty?
No, I don't think. I mean, not being there now, I get it like from online. Of course, I go searching those things out, of course, and read the. When he died, I went to ESPN and read every single story they had on it and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm sure there'll be something because he's the the first legend of Boston.
Are you nervous being on camera?
No, I don't think so.
You've been rocking back and forth. Now you're feeling with
I'm
your
fidgety.
hands.
I'm
Well,
fidgety.
you don't fidget when you're in my house. No, oh, that's right, because normally eat Pop-Tarts.
No Pop-Tarts. I'm fiending, and there's no Pop-Tarts here.
You know what? I hope people who've only been listening and who can never come to the live, who can finally see you now, can see why I was trying to keep you away from the Pop-Tarts.
What are you talking about? Which camera is it?
Oh, can we put a solar shot on James so we get there? There it is.
I could only hold it for so long.
So good.
No brown sugar and cinnamon. Nothing.
There's nothing. Hey, for a while I thought you were sleeping with my wife. She was buying you Pop-Tarts.
Whoa. I think we discussed this. I am not her type.
Well, I discovered that after a fun weekend. Who am I kidding? I'm married. She doesn't let me touch her. So, that's the smartest thing you've done with your lady. You decided not to get married.
No, we're not doing that.
That's where you keep action happening in the
crazy.
bedroom.
It's crazy talk.
Everyone knows they only do it for the bedroom. All right, one more thing I want to touch on real quick before we jump into the story. Deshaun Watson, thoughts?
Oh, another thing. I think everything I know about Deshaun Watson, I've learned in a meme. But he got, is it 6 games?
6 games.
6 game suspension.
I can't believe that's the only out of everything that's been going on.
25 counts?
Well, there were 24 women that came forward.
Accusations? Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's still people getting more time for weed, although they have relaxer restrictions on weed, I think. So I think that means like someone got 16 games for gambling. Was it Ridley, maybe?
Yeah, Ridley got an entire season for gambling.
Entire season for gambling. And then did Darren Waller, did I hear that right? The stud tight end for the Raiders?
I'm not sure what did he get it for. I doubt
he was on a list. I can't remember. It was just they did a list of all the people who got more time than he did, than Deshaun Watson did, and it was ridiculous what they were. I mean, gambling, maybe that's an integrity thing. That's always been like a kind of a gray area, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's harmless at one point, but you could be affecting the outcome of a game too. I get the seriousness of it.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I was going to say, for people who, first of all, I'll get to Deshaun Watson, but with Ridley, and for people out there who don't know, Calvin Ridley is a stud wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. Got busted gambling on FanDuel or something along those lines on football. That is a absolute no-no. I believe he didn't gamble in any Atlanta Falcon games, but still a no-no. You cannot be surprised that the NFL went hard on him, because now you're fucking with our money.
Yeah, no, that makes a point, because that could affect Vegas. Right?
Absolutely,
if athletes are doing that.
Vegas isn't fucking around, and if you think the NFL has money, Vegas it has so much more money,
and they were involved in every sport,
everything. So they're not messing around with this by any means, and gambling is the real reason that the NFL has taken off the way that it has within the last 10 years, maybe 20. It's because of gambling, whether it be fantasy football, and now even more so with the online betting, even with them having the online betting inside of stadiums now, so on and so forth. You cannot.
You can bet inside a stadium now?
Yes. Are you being serious right now?
I had no idea.
Absolutely.
I knew in Arizona you can bet on your phone within the state limits.
If you go downtown, when you drive downtown and you drive past the Phoenix Suns arena, there's betting right there.
No kidding.
You can see it. You drive right past it. I can't remember which casino is connected to it.
When they legalize something, they go full.
They go full tilt, man.
Why not? Right?
So yeah, you're not fucking around with that. But as far as Deshaun Watson, yes, 24 women came forward. There was only 4 women that were allowed to be considered during this, because 20 had already settled with Deshaun Watson.
Oh, wow.
So that takes them off the board. The judge made a great point, and this is what people bitch about over and over again. But this is the same thing they do in actual courtrooms. Precedent. You've already set the precedent, NFL, on how you punish. So what do you want her to do? She's going by what you've already done. You've already kind of set the pace. Look at what Ray Rice got.
He had originally got 2 games for on video clocking his wife.
And the only reason they came back from it, I believe Goodell,
because of that video coming out.
That was it. So I don't have a problem with the 6 games. I have my own opinions on it. I've discussed it before. I'm not someone who's quick to believe women in these circumstances. I like to give the doubt on the male side when these things come up. only because I think that's fair. And if anything else ever pop, like I listened to Rob Parker today on Fox Sports.
No, I can't stand that guy.
I'm sorry, yesterday on Fox Sports say, is he said, she said. And so it's not like she has evidence. You know, if they're in an elevator and he puts his hand up her skirt and there's no one there to see it, did it not happen? Okay, Rob and other jackasses who agree with that. What if he never put his hand up her skirt and she comes out and says he did? Did he? He said, she said works both ways. So you really have no real evidence here. I thought 6 games is more than enough, more than fucking fair. Let's move on. This has been going on long
settling,
enough.
you said 20 settled. I mean, they got paid something, right?
They got paid.
They got paid for something. I mean, that's... And then I always wonder, is the guy paying her to go away or is he paying her to be quiet? You know, which is it more of?
Look, I always look at it that when the court actually throws it out, says, we're not even looking at this. And now we got it. Now you're going to take me to civil court? Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
So if the judge throws it out, so the case is, now I'm just kind of, you're getting me up to speed here.
Yeah.
The 6 games, but that's still, like, he's still got to go to court with these 4 women?
No, that was, the actual criminal proceedings came before all of this.
Oh, okay.
And the court already threw it out.
So nothing's going to change at this point?
No. The man's going to make $230 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed with the Cleveland Browns, and he'll be playing by Game 7 of this season.
And Jacoby Brissett is going to be the first 6, correct?
If that's the backup, he's knocking out.
He needs to be on the Patriots.
Make sure you draft him in your fantasy. All right. Jamie, glad to have you back, man, as a co-host. It's good to see you.
Yes. Glad to be back.
Glad to get you on camera. Can we put another camera lock it on, Jamie?
Again, I can't hold my breath forever.
So
man.
what did you do it again?
What is this?
Hey, man.
My slimming shirt. Coach Kamier, by the way.
Sorry, Coach Kamier.
My kid's school.
What grade are you coaching again?
It was 8th grade. You know, it's funny because my kid never played basketball in his life and organized.
Yeah.
But he's tall and he could jump. So I go, tell me if you make the team, I'll volunteer as an assistant coach. He goes, Dad, there's 7 kids. So I'm like, all right, clearly you're making the team. First half, right, goes by. He doesn't score any points. Second half, first play of the second half, he goes up and gets a defensive rebound, puts it right back up. 2 points, wrong basket. First basket ever in the wrong hole.
Since you're trying to embarrass your kid, you want to give his first and last name?
Well, his first name is Jack, and his last name is the same as mine.
So we just make sure we get all of the. The only way this gets worse if you pulled a picture of him naked as a baby laying on a bearskin rug.
I got him one on the little potty when he was about 18 months.
Yeah, keep that. With the same mustache.
Yeah, with the same 4 hairs coming off his upper lip.
All right, folks. This week's murderess is Assata Shakur.
Oh,
you want to try that last name?
Shakur. That's how we say in Boston, man. See, we're getting better.
I know. I feel like
we're improving.
I feel like that if I put you undercover as a black guy, that is how you. that's like what your voice would sound like. Shakur.
Shakur. Get over her.
What'd you say? All right. Assata Shakur. She was born Joanne Deborah Byron, July 16, 1947.
Oh, I smell a conversion.
Wow. You are a regular old.
Deborah. Can I call you Debbie? No, call me, what is it? Something, Shakur.
It's Assata.
Come on, you're picking on me now. You know I'm not good at this.
No, I didn't ask you the question. I didn't ask
this
you
is the Boston episode.
I didn't ask you to say it. This is the Boston episode.
Oh, there's no racism, huh? Pronounce this.
We don't have any Assatas in Boston. All right, is an American political activist who was a member of the Black Liberation Army and was convicted in the first-degree murder of State Trooper Werner Forster during a shootout on the New Jersey Turnpike in 1973. Shakur is wanted by the FBI, and there is a $2 million reward for her apprehension.
Currently?
Hey, man, there's a whole story here.
Wow.
Born in Flushing, Queens, she grew up in New York City and Wilmington, North Carolina. After she ran away from home several times, her aunt, who would later act as one of her lawyers, took her in. She became involved in political activism at Borough of Manhattan Community College and City College of New York. After graduation, she began using the name Assata Shakur and briefly joined the Black Panther Party. She then joined the BLA, a loosely knit offshoot of the Black Panthers, which engaged in an armed struggle against the U.S. government through tactics such as robbing banks and killing police officers and drug dealers.
Is this Tupac's mother?
No.
But she was in the Black Panthers, wasn't she?
She was.
And her last name was Shakur? Shakur. Come on, man. Don't make me do this.
Is this where you tell me there's only one black person with the last name Shakur? Or?
I don't know. Is it common?
Between 1971 and 73, she was charged with several crimes and was the subject of a multi-state manhunt. In May 1973, Shakur was arrested after being wounded in a shootout on New Jersey Turnpike. Also involved in the shootout were New Jersey State Troopers Warner Forster and James Harper and BLA members Sadiata Akoli and Zaid Malik Shakur.
That's a tough place to get in a shootout, man.
In Jersey?
Yeah.
Why?
Money you got to pay to get on that turnpike? Gone. It's all gone for nothing.
State Trooper Harper was wounded. Zaid Shakur was killed. State Trooper Forster was killed. Between 1973 and 1977, Shakur was charged with murder, attempted murder, armed robbery, bank robbery, and kidnapping in relation to the shootout and 6 other incidents. She was acquitted of 3 of the charges, and 3 were dismissed in 1977.
Oh, she's doing pretty good then. Acquitted and dismissed. I mean, if I'm a defendant, I like both of those words, don't I?
I would think so, yeah. I think you would. I think you would.
All right, that's 6 out of the way. How many are left?
Assata Shakur was born Joanne Deborah. Or Debbie, as Jamie calls her.
Debbie, can I call you Deb?
She lived for 3 years with her mother, school teacher Doris E. Johnson, and retired grandparents Lula and Frank Hill. In 1950, Shakur's parents divorced, and she moved with her grandparents to Wilmington, North Carolina. After elementary school, Shakur moved back to Queens to live with her mother and stepfather. Her mother had remarried by then, obviously. She attended Parsons Junior High School. Shakur still frequently visited her grandparents in the South. Her family struggled financially and argued frequently. Shakur spent little time at home. She often ran away, staying with strangers and working for short periods of time until she was taken in by her mother's sister, Evelyn A. Wims, a civil rights worker who lived in Manhattan.
You just call her the aunt.
What?
Her mother's sister.
Without A.
Say aunt.
I'm sorry.
Aunt? How do you guys do it up in the D?
Who's you guys? What are you trying to say? Is it where your boss
in Detroit? In Detroit's regional.
Huh? How do you
say
guys,
aunt is regional?
How do you guys do it?
Auntie?
No, I think that's in the South. You might say auntie. We say aunt.
Aunt, right. You don't say aunt. It drives me nuts when people say aunt.
Why? That's what they would say where they're from.
It's a bug. And then now we're going to get people like, an ant's not technically a bug. It's you know what I mean? Ant is on the ground. It's a little creature.
Yeah, but still, how come people say different things? Like, I think it drives me nuts, but I don't make a big deal about it. People say soda. I'm like, it's pop.
Pop.
See? Right?
I used to call it tonic.
See?
I wanted a tonic.
Why'd you call it a tonic? Where does that even come from?
I don't even know.
It's like going into the South. The first time I went down south to Alabama, I was at Hardee's, I believe. This is years ago. And I'm standing behind this chick, and she says, hey, I'd like to get a Coke. And the person behind the register says, what flavor? She says, Mountain Dew.
Yeah, Mountain Dew. Oh, my God, that makes no sense.
I said, wait a minute now. I'm looking up. Did Coke start making Mountain Dew? Is there a new Mountain Dew / Coke? It's just how people do things.
Yes. I know that drives me nuts when people say, instead of height, they say height. Like there's a TH at the end of that word.
You know what your problem is? You're from Boston, and you guys are so arrogant about everything. You think you got to know.
We have 19 letters in our alphabet. We're not arrogant about that.
You are. You think everyone should have only 19 letters in the alphabet.
Height.
Okay.
Hard T.
Yeah.
Height. Height. Do you have a lisp?
Yeah, but who made you the professor of how people should speak?
Well, whoever decided TH makes a th sound and not an HT.
Then I'm going to expect for you and people of your ilk to start using all the letters that are in words then.
Whoa. We use R. We just put it where it doesn't belong.
And sometimes you absolutely... Rest in peace, Bill Russell.
It's a generational thing, I think.
It's a generational thing. So she was living with her aunt.
There it is. Back to that.
She ran away. She lived with her aunt, Evelyn Wims, civil rights worker who lived in Manhattan. Shakur has said that her aunt was the heroine of her childhood.
The what? The what?
The heroine.
Oh, my God. That's where it started early.
As she was constantly introducing her to new things.
Like
she said that her aunt was very sophisticated and knew all kinds of things. She was right up my alley because I was forever asking all kinds of questions. I wanted to know everything. Wims often took the girl to museums, theaters, and art galleries. And so I would say this about any child that's growing up. When you have interest and you're not finding people of your same mindset at home, you will seek out, look for other people to be able to have certain conversations, be able to share things with you, like going to the museum, going to art galleries, theaters, and things like that. So I would say that I've seen it more, obviously, in the African American community. I don't know, is that something that you've noticed with friends of yours or some of maybe Jack's friends now, where maybe they gravitate to you for different reasons like that?
Yeah, like when we're in Boston, I say, listen, if you don't want to go down the Cape with me, then I'll find somebody who will. I want to relax.
Again, the whitest thing you've ever said to me when I call you over summer, hey, what's going on? What do you say, just chilling on the
Relaxing down the Cape.
Relaxing down the Cape. I feel like you answered that call just so you could say that, actually.
Hi, this is Jamie at the Cape. How can I help you?
So I don't think that is too different. Shakur converted to Roman Catholicism as a child and attended the all-girls Cathedral High School for 6 months before transferring to a public high school. She attended for a while before dropping out. Shakur is no longer Catholic.
Always happens at the public schools.
Her aunt helped her to later earn her GED. Often there were few or no other black students in her Catholic high school class. Shakur later wrote that teachers seemed surprised when she answered a question in class, as if not expecting black people to be intelligent and engaged.
Who wrote this?
She said she was, well, this is what Shakur says. She said she was taught a sugar-coated version of history that ignored the oppression suffered by people of color, especially in the United States. In her autobiography, she wrote, "I didn't know what a fool they had made out of me until I grew up and started to read real history."
Yeah, we didn't have those books either.
You didn't have what books?
We had the candy-coated version books, I'm sure.
I think we all kind of learned from the same books.
I was 30 years old. I was like, wait, what, slavery? Tell me. They don't tell us this in Boston. They admit that. It's not our fault.
You didn't talk about it at all? Just moved aside? Shakur attended Borough Manhattan Community College and then the city of New York in the mid-1960s. And she gave it back up here. In April 1967, she married Louis Chestermart, a fellow student activist at CCNY. Their married life ended within a year. They divorced in December of 1970. In her 320-page memoir, Shakur gave one paragraph to her marriage saying that it ended over their differing views of gender roles.
CCNY, is that Community College of New York?
City College of New York.
City College. Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I wonder if that's the same. You wouldn't know. You didn't go to school there. But I wonder if City College of New York, if it would probably still be a 4-year school as opposed to a 2-year.
Well, we can Google it another time.
Yeah, another time. After graduation from CCNY, Shakur moved to Oakland, California, where she joined the Black Panther Party in Oakland. Shakur worked with the BPP to organize protests and community education programs. After returning to New York City, Shakur led the BPP chapter in Harlem, coordinating the free breakfast program for children, free clinics, and community outreach. But she soon left the party, disliking the macho behavior of the men and believing that the BPP members and leaders lacked knowledge and understanding of the United States black history.
What does PPP stand for?
Black Panther Party. Are you with me on this?
BPP. I heard triple P.
BPP.
Now I got you. I heard PPP before.
I think you think about PPP loans.
What are those?
Shakur joined the Black Liberation Army, an offshoot whose members are inspired by the Viet Cong and the Algerian independence fighters of the Battle of Algiers. They mounted a campaign of guerrilla activities against the U.S. government, using such tactics as planting bombs, holding up banks, and murdering drug dealers and police.
Oh. And you should have stopped at the drug dealers.
So she started with the Black Panther Party, and they and she might have gotten out at the right time, possibly, because the FBI was really hardcore on the Black Panther Party at the time.
Oh, yeah, they had a hair across their ass for them.
Yeah, and did a lot of things, murdering some of the members of that party, the leaders of that party, a lot of different other things that we won't get into on this podcast at present. But she probably made the right move. I guess it depends on what you think, but yeah, she made the move from the Black Panther Party to the Black Liberation Army. She began using the name Assata. I'm gonna chop up this middle name. I know, Alugbala Shakur in 1971.
Oh, one more time?
You heard me. Rejecting Joanne Chesimard as a slave name. Assata is a West African name derived from the Arabic name Aisha, said to mean she who struggles.
Aisha, I want you so bad. Want to get to know you better. That's all I can think when I hear that name.
Do you know more?
Aisha was a girl I never had. All right.
Well, so why Shakur? I thought you talking about Jack and the mustache and shooting the ball was the most. While Shakur means thankful one in Arabic, Alugabala means savior in Yoruba. She identified as an African and felt her old name no longer fit. It sounded so strange when people called me Joanne. It really had nothing to do with me. I didn't feel like no Joanne, or no Negro or no American. I felt like an African woman. Beginning in 1971, Shakur was allegedly involved in several incidents of assault and robbery, in which she was charged or identified as wanted for questioning, including attacks on New York City police and bank robberies in the area.
They were robbing banks.
Yeah. On April 6, 1971, Shakur was shot in the stomach during a struggle with a guest at a Statler Hilton Hotel in Midtown Manhattan. According to police, Shakur knocked on the door of a guest room, asked, "Is there a party going on here?" then displayed a revolver and demanded money. She was booked on charges of robbery, felonious assault, reckless endangerment, and possession of a deadly weapon, then released on bail. Shakur is alleged to have said that she was glad she had been shot. Afterwards, she was no longer afraid to be shot again.
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at being shot.
I think if you have the mindset that what I'm doing is what I'm going to do, regardless, there probably isn't a deterrent. But I think there probably is that natural human fear of being shot. I don't know who would walk around and not be, unless you're some type of psychopath.
Yeah, I think if I got shot, I'd be more concerned. I'd be like, wow, did I get lucky on this one, if I'm still alive.
That's why I said I think if you are dead set on what you're doing and you have the belief that you would have to be a part of the Black Liberation Army.
So she left the Black Panthers to be in the Black Liberation Army because they were more like, I guess they were less targeted by the FBI. Would that be a way to put it, or no?
No, it says here her reasoning was because it was less macho,
okay.
it was less machismo. It sounds like the male leaders probably were running amok, if you will. Also, she did not care for their lack of understanding of true Black history.
Gotcha.
Almost like they were skim milk versus the Black Liberation Army was probably whole milk.
Well, I mean, if you can reduce the fat, especially milk fat, it's terrible. Still high in sugar.
Following in August 23rd, 1971 bank robbery in Queens, Shakur was sought for questioning. A photograph of a woman who was later alleged to be Shakur wearing thin-rimmed black glasses with a high hairdo pulled tightly over her head and pointed a gun was widely displayed in banks. So the banks were hardcore after. You just don't get to go around New York City taking their money.
No, of course.
And there's not going to be some hell to pay. On December 22nd, 1971, Shakur was named by the New York Police Department as one of 4 suspects in a hand grenade attack that destroyed a police car and injured 2 officers in Maspeth, Queens. When a witness identified Shakur and Andrew Jackson from Federal Bureau of Investigation photographs, a 13-state alarm was issued 3 days after the attack.
13 states? Just that's for the 4 of them, huh? Is she? Never mind. I lost track.
No, do you think there should have been more activity for her?
No, that seems like an awful lot for a bank robbery, or even a grenade.
I think for this time period, for the 70s, again, you had the Black Panther Party, and this is just going to be I'm not doing a Black History class here or anything, but that was definitely a time when the government, federal and state, let me read this here. Some sources identify Shakur as the de facto head of the BLA after the arrest of co-founder Deruba Moore. Robert Daley, Deputy Commissioner of New York City Police, for example, described Shakur as the final wanted fugitive, the soul of the gang, the mother hen who kept them together, kept them moving, kept them shooting. Years later, some police officers agreed that her importance in the BLA had been exaggerated by the police. One officer said that they had created a myth to demonize Shakur because she was educated, young, and pretty. So you had a lot of that, and I wanted to read that point because the educated portion is the most important. When it came to black people standing up for themselves, hell, you even had some black people who wanted separation themselves from white people under certain circumstances. But when it came for them standing up for themselves and being able to stand on equal footing and have a conversation with you and explain to you why, and if you couldn't figure out a reason within the same intellect with that black person, with that African American person, then you would try to find other ways to take them down. And so you saw a lot of that with the government, federal and state, with a lot of these groups here. Not saying that what these groups are, and specifically the Black Liberation Army, not saying what they always did was right. But again, this is why a lot of times you see the bumping of the heads in the first place.
Yeah, they go after the smart people. It's like taking out the generals in the army.
Well, any leadership. I mean, this has often been said when it comes to leadership of we haven't had anyone really stand up. The closest we got into it was Barack Obama, and he was, as much as I love Barack Obama, which is his birthday tomorrow, he was still a politician at the end of the day. While he started out as an activist, he became a politician, still trying to play some of that activist role. And his wife tried to play it even more so because she wasn't the president. But still, we have not had a leader since the days of Martin Luther King, Medgar Evers, Malcolm X, and that's been how many years now?
Rachel Dolezal? No.
Say again?
Rachel Dolezal.
Did
I say her name right?
Rachel Dozer?
No, is it Dozier?
Who cares? You talking about the white chick who tried to pretend to be black?
She was head of the NAACP, right? One of the chapters.
Stop bringing that up. There's never been anything more embarrassing. The only other thing that's embarrassing are people who allow themselves to be cast in McDonald's and Sprite commercials, black people, where they proceed to dance for food and Sprites.
They could ask me.
That drives me absolutely insane. Wow, why you always got black people dancing for fucking food all the time, man, and humming and eating? I've never bitten into a Big Mac and fucking hummed the song.
Oh, I might have. I mean, Big Macs are good.
Then good. Then they need to make the commercial about people who look like you.
Oh, well, they have my number.
I wish they would call him. Jamie Kamire, give him a call. But Rachel Dozer, she's probably 1A of the most. How does this white woman who's tanning and fucking kinking perming her hair, she's passing for black and head of the NAACP chapter for I don't know how many years she was in charge of that.
Yeah, but she got away with it. I mean,
she did get away till she didn't.
Background wasn't too stringent.
Background
check.
It even made me sit there and look at her. Because one of those things it's like looking at what's those paintings that were hot back in the 90s where you had to stare at them to see what was really in it. Like there was a pigeon somewhere.
Oh, yeah, there was the boat.
Right, and you would stand there and look at it, and you could never find it. But like if I'm
standing, crossed your eyes, you.
And if you came over and said, "What are you talking about? It's right there," and then once I see it, then you can't believe you never saw it.
Right.
Well, that's what Rachel Dozer was for us. Where at first you look at like. But maybe,
but she had like a little tint to it. Maybe,
but you're like, I can see how that she could have. No, I can't believe how this even happened. I should have been able to see
fooled a lot
this.
of people.
She fooled a ton of people, bro. A ton of people. It's embarrassing.
How I identify. All right, well,
it's almost like running that NAACP chapter like you just do it online.
Well, let me ask you this: are you okay? Do you think it's weird, or are you completely fine with someone born one sex identifying as born one gender identifying as another gender?
This is what you're going to do to me right now?
I'm going to put you on the spot. You love to do it to me, so that's what we're doing.
I've never done that to you. I've never put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
I do not. Okay, ask your question again. Sorry.
So, do you have a problem with someone like saying born male, say now I identify as female?
I don't have a problem with you saying anything.
What I'm asking you, how do you feel? But what's your opinion on it? Do you care what people do?
No, I don't care.
Oh, I see. Okay, gotcha. So why can't someone identify as a different race then?
You cannot identify as a different race.
But I mean, it's easier than identify as a different gender, wouldn't you think?
I think we're coming
more believable.
You didn't ask me if I'm going to go around talking to you as if you are you're that different gender. You asked me, do I care if you decide to identify as that? Now, if you decide that you are going to and I do have an issue with this. And I don't mean to keep pointing at you, but this is the first time we've ever been on camera, and I'm able to actually point at you and people can see you.
That's all right.
Like, I had a huge problem with...
4 pointing back at you.
I had a huge problem with the transgender, the male who transgendered to female and wanted to swim against women. in college.
Oh, yeah, of course. I have an issue with that.
Okay, so I'm going to have it. You can do what you want to do, but there's going to be consequences.
Right.
You just can't do shit and there's no consequence to it. You just can't. If you want to live that life, then you have to live that life. Part of the consequence is you may not be accepted by the rest of society in terms of across the board.
Like Dave Chappelle says, to what degree do I have to participate, right? That's his, and it's a fair point.
And even more, if we're going to bring up Dave Chappelle makes another great point when it comes to, you got me getting me all kind of trouble.
Nice.
Where were you when we needed you in terms of black people? And so that is always going to be part of my thing until I see a change. Whenever black people need it or need help, I don't see a lot of support coming from a lot of other groups. And so where were you when we needed you? So that's overall. But I'm not going to be prejudiced against you, but there needs to be an understanding. So if you're going to be a white woman who pretends she's black and you perm your hair and you go get a tan or whatever the fuck you're doing, and you want to step even, you know what, I got away with this. Let me step even further out and just see if I can run an NAACP chapter. Well, when the fucking shit hits the fan, then you got to eat that.
Yep.
There's consequences.
Of course.
There's consequences for everything.
So what you're saying is you hate transgender.
That is not what I said at all. That is not what I said.
I was going to say that no matter what you said.
This was all leading to. So the New Jersey Turnpike shootout on May 2nd, 1973, at about 12:45 a.m., Assata Shakur, along with Zaid Malik Shakur, born James F. Costin, and Sundiata Akali, born Clark Squire, were stopped on the New Jersey Turnpike in East Brunswick for driving with a broken tail light by State Trooper James Harper, backed up by Trooper Warner Forster in a second patrol vehicle.
Probably wasn't broken until after they pulled him over. You got a broken tail light?
You said it, not me.
Right.
So
I watch movies.
Where do you think that shit comes from? The vehicle was slightly exceeding the speed limit. Recordings of Trooper Harper calling this dispatcher were played at the trials of both Akali and Assata Shakur. The stop occurred 200 yards south of what was then the Turnpike Authority Administration Building. Akali was driving the two-door vehicle. Assata Shakur was seated in the right front seat, and Zaid Shakur was in the right rear seat. Trooper Harper asked the driver for identification and noticed the discrepancy, asked him to get out the car, and questioned him at the rear of the vehicle. While the questioning of Akali, accounts by participants of the confrontation began to differ. A shootout ensued in which Trooper Forrester was shot twice in the head with his own gun and killed. Zaid Shakur was killed, and Assata Shakur and Trooper Harper were wounded.
Oh, wow. Let me get to hear how this plays out.
According to initial police statements, at this point, one or more of the suspects had begun firing with a semi-automatic handgun, and Trooper Forrester fired 4 times before falling mortally wounded. At Akali's trial, Harper testified that the gunfight started seconds after Forrester arrived at the scene. At this trial, Harper said that Forrester reached into the vehicle, pulled out and held up a semi-automatic pistol, an ammunition magazine, and said, "Jim, look what I found." While facing Harper at the rear of the vehicle, the police ordered Assata Shakur and Zaid Shakur to put their hands on their laps and not to move. Harper said that Assata Shakur reached down to the right of her right leg, pulled out a pistol, and shot him in the shoulder, after which he retreated to behind his vehicle. Questioned by prosecutor C. Judson Hamlin, Harper said he saw Forrester shot just as Assata Shakur was hit by bullets from Harper's gun. In his opening statement to a jury, Hamlin said that Akali shot Forrester with a .38 caliber semi-automatic pistol and used Forrester's own gun to execute him. According to the testimony of state police investigators, 2 jammed semi-automatic pistols were discovered near Forrester's body.
They're not cleaning their guns. Jamming both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, from Boston, I know guns.
How so, Whitey?
That's not true.
Yeah, I was gonna
Boston's tough to get a gun in. Well, Massachusetts, I should say.
Is it?
Yeah, it's tougher than here. Like, you need to go to you got to get a permit and you got to get a class.
So you don't have to do anything here.
Yeah, no, are you a felon? No. Here you go.
We don't know for sure. But here we are. Take this. Have a nice day. So here we see what they're talking about, the gun battle, the shooting, as you said before on the Turnpike, just wasted that money to get onto the Turnpike for that. So It says, and then Assata here, during an interview, Assata Shakur discussed her treatment by the police and medical staff at Middlesex General Hospital. She said that the police beat and choked her and were doing everything that they could possibly do as soon as the doctors or nurses would go outside, which I'm not surprised by.
No, of course. They're trying to get revenge.
I mean, you can't shoot a cop.
No.
You cannot shoot a cop.
Doesn't matter how wrong the cop is.
One of my favorite, and because it's true, but one of my favorite lines in American Gangster, have you seen it with Denzel Washington? Is at the end when Denzel once again, and sorry for the spoiler alert if you haven't seen it in all these years.
It's been long enough, you can spoil it.
When he wants to go kill the cop, when the cop comes through looking for the money and whatnot, and his mother said, "You can't go after cops." He says, "Mom, I'm not," and she slaps him to kind of stop him. And she says, "Even I know you can't kill a police. And you just can't. You just fucking can't."
Doesn't matter.
I don't give a shit what you do, what color you are. I don't care what it. I mean, you see all those white people. They just hit one for 7 years for the January 6th. He's got more years. He got a harder time than anyone else has gotten so far, and I'm pretty sure he won't be the last one to get hard time.
Making a point, yeah. Because was it a cop die in that?
There was a cop that died in it, and a lot of cops that had to retire. So you can't do it. You just can't. And obviously that goes to the further extent of trying to raid the Capitol and kill congresswomen and congresswomen. But the point is, you cannot attack police officers, and you definitely can't fucking shoot at them.
Nope, don't do it. It's our disclaimer for the day.
So between
the more you know.
So between 1973 and 77 in New York and New Jersey, Shakur was indicted 10 times, resulting in 7 different criminal trials. Shakur was charged with 2 bank robberies, the kidnapping of a Brooklyn heroin dealer, the attempted murder of 2 Queens police officers stemming from January 23rd, 1973, a failed ambush, and 8 other felonies related to the Turnpike shootout. Of these trials, 3 resulted in acquittals, 1 in a hung jury, 1 in a change of venue, 1 in a mistrial due to pregnancy, and 1 in a conviction. 3 indictments were dismissed without trial.
So she got pregnant during all this?
I would assume.
That's how to slow things down.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything that says if she got pregnant while she was being held, or if she was out on bail and got pregnant.
No, I'm sure she was out on bail, especially if everything's getting thrown out left and right.
So they ended up having a mistrial and some charges being dropped on the Turnpike shootout. Excuse me. I'm sorry, on the Bronx bank robbery. And I told you guys before, I'm going to be scrolling through some of this here. It gets deep with a lot of information here, which I am thoroughly entertained by.
Oh.
So then there was a the Turnpike shootout mistrial, and the Turnpike shootout proceedings continued with Judge John E. Bachman in Middlesex County. The New Jersey Superior Court Judge Leon Jarofsky ordered a change of venue in 1973 from Middlesex to the Morris County, New Jersey, saying
because it was too close to home type of thing.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. Saying it was almost impossible to obtain a jury here comprising people willing to accept the responsibility of impartiality so that defendants will be protected from transitory passion and prejudice. I'm surprised that even came.
Yeah.
That they even changed the venue move. So I'm surprised by that.
Maybe the news was getting involved.
I'm sure. So something like that. I'm sure. And then you throw in the BLA as well. I'm most certain. So Morris County had a far smaller black population than Middlesex County. On this basis, Shakur unsuccessfully attempted to remove the trial to federal court. Before jury selection was complete, it was discovered that Shakur was pregnant. Due to the possibility of miscarriage, the prosecution successfully requested a mistrial for Shakur. A Coley's trial continued. So there you go.
So, but was she in jail? Was it some of that jailhouse, you know what? I don't want to use bad words on here.
Why? You've done it before.
That jailhouse
fucking
dingling that she got. It's a new leaf I'm turning over.
You ate? Turn the leaf back over because you say shit like dingling. Nobody wants to hear that.
She got some jail peenie.
Jail peenie.
Trying to think what other words I used when I was little.
So there's
a pissness. I couldn't say penis when I was little. I said pissness.
Attempted murder dismissal. Shakur for others, including Fred Hilton, Avon White, and Andrew Jackson, were indicted in the state Supreme Court in the Bronx back in '73 on charges of attempting to shoot and kill 2 policemen, Michael O'Reilly and Roy Poliana. who were wounded but had since returned to duty.
Sounds like an Irish guy and an Italian guy.
In an ambush in St. Albans, Queens on January 28, 1973. In March of 74, two defendants, Jeanette Jefferson and Robert Hayes, were named in an indictment involving the same charges. On April 26, while Shakur was pregnant, New Jersey Governor Brendan Burns signed an extradition order to move Shakur to New Jersey to face 2 counts of attempted murder, attempted assault, and possession of dangerous weapons related to the alleged ambush. However, Shakur declined to waive her right to an extradition hearing and asked for a full hearing before Middlesex County Judge Johnny Bachman.
Bachman, he's back.
Mm-hmm. Shakur was extradited to New York City on May 6th, arraigned on May 11th, pleaded not guilty, and remanded to jail, but Justice Albert S. McGovern of the state Supreme Court pending a pretrial hearing on July 2nd. In November 1974, New York State Supreme Court Justice Peter Farrell dismissed the attempted murder indictment because of insufficient evidence, declaring, quote, "The court can only note with disapproval that virtually a year has passed before counsel made an application for the most basic relief permitted by law, namely an attack on the sufficiency of the evidence submitted by the grand jury."
Blah, 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 blah.
This guy.
That's all I heard.
What do you mean it's all you heard?
And the whole legal jargon you just said at the end. Not all. Most of it was beautiful. I'm talking about the legal jargon at the end.
By the time she was retried in 1977.
You miss it, Sidney. You miss it.
So we're going back now to the Turnpike shootout. So there was a retry for that as well. By the time she was retried in 1977, Cauley had already been convicted of shooting and murdering Forster.
And you and I were both born.
You were born. The prosecution argued that Assata had fired the bullets that had wounded Harper, while the defense argued that now deceased Zaid had fired them. Based on the New Jersey law, if Shakur's presence at the scene could be considered as aiding and abetting the murder of Forster, she could be convicted even if she had not fired the bullets which had killed him. That is a law that, and I'm not talking about this specific case here, but I've seen and I know and I'm related to people who have been involved. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't have been punished in some ways, somehow. Because you were there, you can get the same time as the person who pulled the trigger.
Yeah, remember we did that with the hiccup girl? Way back when?
Yeah, but they didn't give her the same time as the person who pulled the trigger then.
No, they all got life.
She didn't get life.
She got life. Hiccup girl got life.
We'll have to go back. I don't recall him and looking at that one that she had life.
Remember?
The fuck was that?
The hiccup, remember?
You doing sound effects?
You forget my favorite line in this whole podcast series was from that you made.
What was it?
When she turned, after the court handed down a decision, she turned, she looked at her mother and went, which didn't really happen, but you got me good that day.
I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Man, am I clever.
Yeah, it was. Although not clever enough to remember she got life.
You know what, dude? I don't think she got life. I think you're full of shit.
Okay, I'm going to go with 40 plus.
You know what? This is why I got to get a guy or a female in here who sits with and who can look shit up as I go through.
Oh, like a stenographer?
Yeah. Well, no, it's not a stenographer.
Why? They can just, it's like the same thing, but with fewer
That's not even the same thing. That's not even the same thing. I told you you're wrong about shit, and you never want to admit you're wrong about shit.
Why can't a stenographer be a note taker?
How is that a stenographer? That's not a stenographer.
But can it be?
No, don't try it. That's not what I asked for. That's not what I said I wanted to get over here.
It can be a stenographer.
Admit you were wrong.
I'm not admitting we're talking about the same thing.
If we're not,
I'm just saying it could be a stenographer.
You can never. You said stenographer, you know damn well that's not what I was talking about. And you know that's not what a stenographer does.
But it could be. I'm going to have a stenographer in here just to offset your secretary or whatever you were going to get. You have a type off.
A type off?
Stenographer has 6 keys.
Shakur had some very notable defense attorneys: Wim Kunstler, the chief of Shakur's defense staff, Stuart Ball, Robert Bloom, Raymond A. Brown, Stanley Cohen, Lennox Hines, Florence Kennedy, Louis Myers, Lawrence Stern. The list goes on here. Of these attorneys, Kunstler, Ball, Cohen, Myers, Stern, and Wims appeared in court for the Turnpike trial. Kunstler became involved in Shakur's trials in 1975 when contacted by Wims and commuted from New York City to New Brunswick every day with Stern. Her attorneys, in particular, Lennox Hines, were often held in contempt of court, which the National Conference of Black Lawyers cited as an example of systemic bias in the judicial system. The New Jersey Legal Ethics Committee also investigated complaints against Hines for comparing Shakur's murder trial to legalized lynching, undertaken by a kangaroo court. I have a huge problem with the phrase legalized lynching here. I have a huge issue with that.
See, I got lost at kangaroo court.
Well, legalized lynching came before kangaroo court, so you were at least with me up to that point.
Yeah.
So,
I just said the term that jumped out at me there was kangaroo court.
the medical evidence that they pulled out, a key element of Shakur's defense was medical testimony meant to demonstrate that she was shot with her hands up and that she would have been subsequently unable to fire a weapon. A neurologist testified that the median nerve in Shakur's right arm was severed by the second bullet, making her unable to pull a trigger. Neurosurgeon Dr. Arthur Turner Davison, associate professor of surgery at Albert Einstein College of Medicine, testified that the wounds in her upper arms, armpit, and chest and several median nerve had severed a median nerve that instantly paralyzed her right arm, would only have been caused if both arms were raised, and that to sustain such injuries would, while crouching and firing a weapon, as described in Trooper Harper's testimony, would be anatomically impossible.
That's a good doctor right there.
Davison based his testimony on August 4th, 1976, examination of Shakur and her x-rays taken immediately after the shootout at Middlesex General Hospital.
Like, if I was on a jury, that right there would sell me, I think.
Really?
That doctor's explanation of it, yeah.
Why?
Just as, I don't know, I'm always like that forensic file stuff. She had her arms up, okay, and this is why.
Okay.
And the doctor convinced me. Like, right there, I'd be convinced she was shot with her hands up.
We are part of the CSI generation, though.
I love that.
Yeah.
Give me the evidence.
You're right. Can you just jump to all the other shit you were going to say and just put the pictures up there? That's it. Just let me look at that.
Right there. Innocent.
So Prosecutor Barone questioned whether Davison was qualified to make such a judgment 39 months after the injury. Barone proceeded to suggest, while a female sheriff's attendant acted out his suggestion, that Shakur was struck in the right arm and collarbone and then spun around by the impact of the bullet, so an immediate second shot entered the fleshy part of her upper left arm, to which Davison replied, impossible.
Imposible in Spanish.
So, Dr.
Well, I haven't given you a Spanish lesson for a while.
You say what?
I haven't given you a Spanish lesson for a while.
I don't think, because you figure out one word that you know in an entire podcast is really giving a lesson.
¿Qué?
So that's two words. You say what?
¿Qué? I had to say with the what? Like, how do you... ¿Qué?
Dr. Davis Payne, a pathologist from Brookdale Community College, testified that her bullet scars as well as x-rays supported her claim that her arms were raised and that there was no conceivable way the first bullet could have hit Shakur's clavicle if her arm was down. And other evidence that was shown, according to Angela Davis, neutron activation analysis that was administered after the shootout showed no gunpowder residue on Shakur's fingers, and forensic analysis performed at the Trenton, New Jersey crime lab and the FBI crime labs in Washington, D.C. did not find her fingerprints on any weapon at the scene. See, some more for you.
Maybe her arms are raised because she was dancing for a Big Mac. I raise my arms when I dance for a Big Mac.
Did you just
that commercial you talked about earlier?
I know what you're doing. Did you just do a callback from
shaking off the rust here,
25 fucking minutes ago? For people out there who are not comedians, a callback is when you refer to something from before. Normally, it is a joke you refer back to make it funny again. And normally it does not happen 25 minutes later.
Just see if you're still paying attention.
Unless your name is Dave Chappelle. It's the only way it normally is done that way. So on March 24th, the jurors...
I'm flattered you just compared me to Dave Chappelle.
I did not compare you to Dave Chappelle. On March 24th, the jurors listened for 45 minutes to a rereading of testimony of the state police chemist regarding the blood found at the scene on the Lamond's and Shakur's clothing. That night, the second night of jury deliberation, the jury asked Judge Appleby to repeat his instructions regarding the 4 assault charges 30 minutes before retiring for the night, which led to speculation that the jury had decided in Shakur's favor on the remaining charges, especially the 2 counts of murder. Appleby reiterated that the jury must consider separately the 4 assault charges: atrocious assault and battery, assault on a police officer acting in the line of duty, assault with a deadly weapon, and assault with intent to kill, each of which carried a total maximum penalty of 33 years in prison. The other charges were first-degree murder, second-degree murder, illegal possession of a weapon, and armed robbery. The jury also asked Appleby to repeat the definitions of intent, and Shakur was convicted on all 8 counts.
Oh, wow.
2 murder charges and 6 assault charges. Upon hearing the verdict, Shakur said in a barely audible voice, "I am ashamed that I have ever taken part in this trial," and that the jury was racist and had convicted a woman with her hands up. When Judge Appleby told the court attendants to remove the prisoner, Shakur herself replied, "The prisoner will walk away on her own feet." After Joseph W. Lewis, the jury foreman, read the verdict, Consular asked the jury to be removed before alleging that one jury had violated the sequestration order. At the post-trial press conference, Consular blamed the verdict on racism, stating that the white element was there to destroy her. When asked by a reporter why, if that were the case, it took the jury 24 hours to reach a verdict, Consular replied, "That was just a pretense." A few minutes later, the prosecutor, Barone, disagreed with Consular's assessment, saying the trial's outcome was decided completely on the facts. At Shakur's
winners are always going to say that.
Always. At Shakur's sentencing hearing on April 25th, Appleby sentenced her to 26 to 33 years in state prison, 10 to 12 for the 4 counts of assault, 12 to 15 for the robbery, and 2 to 3 for armed robbery, plus 2 to 3 for aiding and abetting the murder of Forrester, to be served consecutively with her mandatory life sentence. However, Appleby dismissed the second-degree murder of Zaid Shakur, as the New Jersey Supreme Court had recently narrowed the application of the law. Appleby finally sentenced Shakur to 30 days in the Middlesex County workhouse for contempt of court, concurring with the other sentences, for refusing to rise when he entered the room.
Oh, God. 30 days.
To be eligible for parole, Shakur would have had to serve a minimum of 25 years, which would have included her 4 years in custody during trials.
So she's still in jail? No, that was, what year are we talking, 70? No, she'd be out. Is she deceased?
They gave her 20.
She got life on top of that.
She'd have to do a minimum of 25 to even be considered eligible for parole.
This is in the 70s.
So you're looking at the Nelson murder being dismissed after that. There's an attempted robbery also that was dismissed after that. And so she was held briefly at the Garden State Youth Correctional Facility in Yardville, Burlington County, New Jersey, and later moved to Rikers Island Correctional Institution for Women in New York City, where she was kept in solitary confinement for 21 months.
Damn. They've done studies to show like how it deteriorates your brain and be in solitary confinement.
Shakur's only daughter, Kakaya Shakur, was conceived during her trial and born on September 11, 1974, in the fortified psychiatric ward at Elmhurst General Hospital in Queens, where Shakur stayed for a few days before being returned to Rikers Island. In her autobiography, Shakur claims that she was beaten and restrained by several large female officers after refusing a medical exam from a prison doctor shortly after giving birth. After a bomb threat was made against Judge Appleby, Sheriff Joseph DiMarino lied to the press about the exact date of her transfer to Clinton Correctional Facility for Women. He later claimed the threat to be the cause of his falsification. She was also transferred from the Clinton Correctional Facility for Women to a special area staffed by women guards at the Garden State.
So they gave a fake date so they don't try to break her out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they always do that with like when the president goes and visits like a war-torn area. They always lie about it.
In early 1979, the family, a group of BLA members, began to plan Shakur's escape from prison. They financed this by stealing $105,000 from a Bamberger store in Paramus, New Jersey.
Wow.
On November 2nd, 1979, Shakur escaped the Clinton Correctional Facility for Women in New Jersey when 3 members of the Black Liberation Army visiting her drew concealed .45 caliber pistols and a stick of dynamite.
You got all that in a prison?
Seized 2 corrections officers as hostages, commandeered a van, and escaped.
I mean, I can imagine where you put the dynamite, but what about those guns?
No one was injured during the prison break,
right by that,
including the officers held as hostages who were left in the parking lot. According to later court testimony, Shakur lived in Pittsburgh until August 1980, when she flew to the Bahamas. Matula Shakur, Sylvia Borodini, Sekou Odinga, and Marilyn Buck were charged with assisting in her escape. Ronald Boyd Hill was also held on charges related to the escape. In part of his role in the event, Matulu was named on July 23rd, 1982 as the 80th edition to the FBI's 10 Most Wanted Fugitives list, where he remained for the next 4 years until his capture in 1986.
Wow. If you break somebody out, I wonder if you should have to do their time if you get caught.
Yeah, all right.
Right? Somebody's paying.
Shakur was in Cuba by 1984, and that year she was granted political asylum there. The Cuban government paid approximately $13 a day toward her living expenses. In 1985, her daughter, Kakaya, who had been raised by Shakur's mother in New York, came to live with her. In 1987, her presence in Cuba became widely known when she agreed to be interviewed by Newsday. In an open letter, Shakur has called Cuba one of the largest, most resistant, and most courageous Palinquas maroon camps that has ever existed on the face of this planet. She has praised Fidel Castro as a hero of oppressed and referred to herself as a 20th century escaped slave. Shakur is also known to have worked as an English language editor for Radio Havana, Cuba.
Wow. Is she still alive?
Well, they still got a warrant, a reward out for her. I think it was $2 million we touched on. Right?
Oh, so someone to get that, you'd have to grab her in Cuba and bring it to the U.S.
You got plans? You going to make a trip?
Ugh. I feel like I'd stand out there.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. But he had a cigar.
What? That was funny. Is that how you fooled him?
Had a big straw hat and a cigar. They'll never see it coming.
Yeah, you couldn't go to Cuba anyway because you're going to have to stay too covered. And
you Shakur? Come with me. Shakur?
Yeah, you can
come with me.
That. Yeah, you're good.
Can I show you something in this white van?
You are as good as dead. Hey, folks, about the story you just heard, I would love to say we, but, my team, we sourced
Your
it.
squad.
I can't say we. I mean, all the credit goes to this side. We sourced it there. Jay, thanks for coming, man.
Hey, I was happy to come back. Check out the place, the digs, the new digs. I like it.
All right. Camera back on me. We don't need to look at Jay anymore. He's out there. Hey, folks, remember, be aware of your surroundings.
Black claw shirt. Come on.
Can I close out the show? Jesus
Sorry,
Christ.
I was just saying how much I did.
You know
like
what, people? I want the people to know the real truth now. Jamie was kicked off the group. All right. Couldn't sing on key.
He's talking about forming a union.
Remember, folks, be aware of your surroundings, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Do we walk out?
just take a few kids. What's wrong with you?
Where do I start?
Where do I start?